Yo, 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 what is up? Welcome to episode 49 of Player Life. It is the 22nd of January, Friday night here in Tokyo. Um, so we got Matt W in the house. Mac holding woke tires accountable. Absolutely. That's my job. um, you know, uh, Good stuff. Javier says, I play this when I train every morning and it's lit. Glad to hear. I'm glad to hear. Um, it says, I got to work in a few, but catch it the rest of it on my break or later. Good stuff, man. Um, so today's episode, I wanted to, talk about the idea of, these woke chicks that are always, that basically are fans of hip hop, especially male hip hop rappers, and I like a bit of hip hop. I'm not against hip hop or I like some hip hop, but you know, if you look at the lyrics of hip hop, it's really it's not really a lot of the lyrics are very red pilled actually, um but you'll see all especially excuse me, you'll see all these woke chicks playing this music or dancing to this music or twerking to this music on their TikToks, on their Instagram, while at the same time sharing their women's march, their BLM tags, all this kind of stuff, when you know the lyrics in these hip hop songs and these rap songs are really, they're really kind of, a lot of them are kind of based, to be honest. Especially like when I'm not into this, like I hate political rap. I hate it. I hate when they start going on about, but when they start, when rappers talk about women, a lot of it's kind of based. There's a lot of red pills in there, a lot of truth to it. But yeah, let's see. We got Spark 55 in the house. What is good? Yeah. So it's like, you just, like I always say, you just have to look at what women do rather than what they say, and even the things they say contradict themselves a lot of the time. Women are just interested in money, muscles, and game. That's what guys should be interested in, because that's what will ultimately get you unlimited amounts of pussy. Once you have money, muscles, and game. And these women, they talk about all their social justice causes, their Me Too and their Women's March and their this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, if ASAP Rocky is having an after party, and there's going to be a load of strippers there, and there's going to be gangbangs, and there's going to be, they're going to be getting used and abused, and these chicks are going to be lining up outside his hotel door to get in, to suck his dick, to get gangbanged. This is the reality. A to Z says, "Hey bro, just wondering on your dates, how much time do you spend getting coffee prior to pulling back to your place?" Yeah, good question. I always, I spend like an hour max. There's no need to go. There's no need to go longer than an hour. If you haven't, it's just, you spend an hour is more than enough time to get a girl comfortable, make her relaxed, so that, and then you just make your move. You do what you got to do. You whatever. If you haven't paid for it already, you pay the bill. Well, if it's a coffee shop, it's already paid for. I just say, yo, let's go for a walk. And like I always say, 9 out of 10 times they don't ask where we're going. They don't ask, what we're doing. I just walk them to my house. And when we're near enough my house or when it's in visible distance, I say, "Oh, there! I actually live there," and I roll in. I say, "Let's go in and chill for a bit." Yeah, and most of the time there's no there's no beef. There's no like there's sometimes there's a little bit of resistance. There's a little bit of surprise, but most girls kind of know what's going on. Um, there's only one. I've had some girls like refuse to come in, and like just be like, "Oh no, I'm not coming in." Oh yeah, and that's a rare case. But there was only one time, and trust me, guys, I've done this a lot. Like I've used this technique, I've so many times. It's kind of ridiculous. But there's only one time where a girl was like kind of gave me stink for not telling her where we were going, even though I said let's just go for walks. So we were near my house, and I said, "Oh, I live around here, or I live there. There's my apartment over there. Let's go in and chill for a bit." And then she was like, "I had a feeling you were gonna do this," and I was like, "Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, I just want to go in and chill in my house for a bit." And she pretended like I was like trying to trick her. I wasn't trying to trick her. I'm just, this is just the way guys have to take the lead. Guys have to take the initiative. I don't know what she. Anyway, the reason I'm telling you this only happened one time out of like God knows how many times. Only one time. And anyway, it wasn't a big deal. And then I said to her, "Oh, okay, I mean, fine. You don't have to come in. It's fine. Like, I'm not forcing anyone to do anything." And then she was like, "Well, no, it's okay. I'll come in." And she came in anyway. So I'm just saying, if guys are worried about girls being, annoyed that you just walked to your house, like it, one time that happened to me, and she still came in. So but the thing is, you want to spend less time. The less time you spend on, you don't want to overkill. I was talking to a friend, you know, he has no game. He has no game, and the thing is, when I sometimes I don't even want to give advice to friends because they kind of throw it back in your face, like they don't, especially guys that are kind of blue pilled. I find it hard to actually spend time with guys that are blue pill these days. It's just, I just don't have the patience for it. It's hard, man. But anyway, he was, I keep in touch sometimes. He was telling me that he went on a date, and he spent 5 hours on the first date. 5 hours, seriously. And this guy wanted to have sex. Of course he did. He told he wanted to have sex. His goal was to have sex on the first date, and he was just like, not putting off making a move. He's just like spending hours and going to different venues and wasting all this time. And at the end of it, he made his move. He finally just dragged on so long that he made his move, and she said, "Oh, I don't come back to guys' houses on the first date." And I was like, "Dude, like, why you could have saved yourself like 4 hours? Like, you just spend 1 hour." And not only that, but he arranged a date like miles and miles and miles away from where he lives. And then I told him, this is really blue pill guy. He told me he arranged a date in the city, and he lives in a small village. And I was like, why didn't you arrange the date in your village in the coffee shop? And he goes, well, and I go, is there a Starbucks or anything? He goes, yeah, there's a Starbucks, but that's only open in the daytime. And I was like, what? What do you mean that's only open in the daytime? Yeah, I mean, it's a coffee date. He was like, oh, well, it would be a bit suspicious if I invite her out to out to where I live in the daytime. And I was like, what? A bit suspicious. What do you mean it's this? This is like zero game. This is blue pill mentality. Blue pill mentality, like completely oblivious. I was like, what do you mean? You can't? Of course you can invite her out to your, like, That's what you do. You want to have sex. You want to get laid. You need to be as close to your house as possible. And he was like, no, it's like too suspicious. You won't come out. And I was like, did you try? Did you ever try that? And he was like, no. But on top of that, I don't do day dates. I because you don't drink in the daytime. And I was like, what do you mean you don't? I was like, I mean, you don't need drink. I mean, you can just go to a coffee. What do you mean you don't drink? Zero game. There's so many some guys just have absolutely, and this is a guy that's my friend, but I mean, I tried to tell him, and he's got, guys get confrontational. So I was telling him, you don't need to drink. I mean, you don't need to drink to have sex. I mean, and then I told him, you have no game if you need to you've no game if you need drink to have sex. If you need drink to have sex, you have no game. That's not game. You don't have any. So I said it to him, dude, you have no game if you need, I don't bullshit people. I mean, if they're coming to me with problems, I'm just going to be straight up. I don't care who they are. I'm just going to tell them the truth, what I think. Some people think it's too harsh. I don't care. If you need drink to get laid, then you have no game. And, so he's again confrontation. Well, he starts saying, oh, well, and then suddenly he goes, oh, well, you're out in Asia. It's a lot easier out there because you're a white guy. And dude, that was when I gave him a timeout. But some guys, you can tell them, but they're not going to listen. Their ego gets in the way, and it's like, it's obvious. Anyway, I'm ranting, but, less is better. Don't be spending more than an hour, because it doesn't matter. An hour is more than enough. It's more than enough to make a good impression, to let her know that you're not a serial killer. You're not, you put in the hour and then you make your move. You try and you try and bring her back to your place. You save yourself time. If you spend 2 hours, it's not going to make a difference. There's going to be no difference in the result. You make your move after 1 hour. Let's see. Morris Surveysen says, Japanese girls and women always want to meet you at the Starbucks. They have bad taste. Yeah, Japanese girls, I mean, Starbucks is like going to Disneyland for them. It's like, especially if they're meeting a foreign guy, because obviously Starbucks is associated with America, and they want that kind of that image. I remember I was on a date with this normie Japanese girl, and she was like, oh my god, like, I can't believe I'm in Starbucks with a foreign guy. She's such a nerd. But a lot of these girls, even though they're good looking, like, they might be really hot, but looks can be deceiving. A lot of these girls are nerds, man. Like, they might look cool, they might look sexy and hot, and you think they're like, but don't pedestalize these women. A lot of these women are nerds, especially in Japan. Some of these girls in Japan, like, they're super hot. My God, they're really hot, stylish, but they're really nerds, like dorky nerds. Really, really are. Javier says, general rule of thumb, the more non-sexual attention you give before sex, the less likely you are to have sex. Exactly. The more time you go wasting, you go spending like hours upon hours on a date with a girl, she'll think this guy's like a pussy. He's nothing better to be doing. Even subconsciously, you might think, oh, I'm having a great time. I'm having this romantic, excursion. I'm having this wonderful day with this girl. But at the end of the day, you're just a girlfriend to her. Then you're out on a little play date. She sees you. She doesn't see you as like a man, like an aggressive, guy that really goes after what he wants. Like, it's like, seriously, if you're spending like 5 hours on a date with a girl, you have no game. Don't do that. I mean, I'm obviously, there's unless there's the only circumstance where you could spend 5 hours on a date is like, I don't know. I don't see any excuses for it, to be honest. Actually, like, you shouldn't be arranging dates that involve like that amount of time. Like, you shouldn't be going on these like adventure dates with chicks, like mountain climbing on the first date and stuff. If you're going on a date, you need to like make enough time for. You should know that you're able to have sex. You should have enough time. When you know, if I go on a date, you know, with a girl and I don't have enough time, or she refuses to come to my location, it's like I'm accepting the fact that I know that she's not going to put out on the first date. So in that case, she has to be pretty hot. She has to be at least minimum. I wouldn't do it for a 6. I'd do it, 7 or 8, 7, and like solid 7. I might go and like go out, to another location where she said maybe, but generally 8s, 9s, and 10s. Okay, yeah, just because she's hot, I have some free time, I'm gonna, you know, but at the end of the day, you're probably not gonna get laid. But sometimes it can work out, like I said, like a few, like at Christmas, just before Christmas, I met this girl. She refused to come to my station, where I live. But I ended up meeting her, and we ended up going to a love hotel. But that's honestly, that's kind of that's a rare situation. That doesn't happen very often. When they don't come to your place, when they're not willing to follow your instructions, yeah, bad sign. Um, yeah, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, but yeah, it's just let's see. It's Mara says it's not easy to get girls in Japan. There are just many of them in Tokyo. This way it looks you get a lot of easy dates. I mean, there's a lot of girls in Tokyo. I mean, it's the idea that the idea that the idea that Japanese girls, it's easy for foreign guys, especially white guys, to get Japanese girls. It's a myth. Like, it really is. Like, Japan is not like, it's not a poor country. We don't have foreigners don't have any higher status here. It's the opposite. It's like, you're below, like you're looked down upon. And that's the harsh reality. It's just, that's the way it is. I mean, and it's not like there's not like super racism. Like, there's like casual. It's not like there's no danger, but it's just, it's when it comes to hooking up with girls, you still need to have game. I often say this, like, there's girls that won't touch foreign guys with a barge pole. I'd say most girls, say more than 50, definitely more than 50%, won't ever. They don't want it. They're not attracted to the foreign look. If you look at I always say, look at the famous actors, singers, the male ones, the idols, the guys that the famous guys that girls look up to, like the Brad Pitts, or the actors of Japan. They don't look like Western. They don't look like Brad Pitt. They don't look like the Western look. They look way more feminine. It's a different thing. There's a different beauty kind of. What's considered a handsome man in Japan is different for what's considered a handsome man in Western countries. Western handsome man would be a lot more aggressive looking, more chiseled. Just, it's a different look. Javier, only excuse for when more than 1 hour is if you having sex on that hike. Yeah, I mean, if you like doing it outdoors, but yeah, it's not advisable to be going on these adventure dates. It's not really worth it. It's not. If you're gonna go on an adventure, go with one of your buddies. It's gonna be trouble if you're going with a chick. Go with a dude. Anyway, being ranting a bit, but yeah. So I was gonna talk about the idea that these woke chicks that love hip hop and pop music and all that kind of stuff, and like the hypocrisy of it, because it's like, to be quite honest, it's like, if I was to say, as a white man, for me, if I said some of the same things, I'd be thrown under the bus. But I'm gonna still say it because because I don't give a fuck, and I'm Mac the Day Gamer. But like you get the idea. If I was famous and I said some of the same things that ASAP Rocky said or Kanye West said, I'd get I'd get canceled. I'd get canceled. Contracts would be canceled, or I would just get deleted or thrown off social media. Even if, to be quite honest, I don't. If my YouTube channel was big, like if I had a lot of followers, I'd say it would get deleted. Yeah, I'm not careful enough with what I say. Yeah, I'm a bit too blunt for it to be allowed, but it is what it is. Yeah, but let's look at let me see. Where is it? Yeah, I don't know. I came across this article. I just want to read it. I'll go through it. Okay. Share screen. So it says, can I be a feminist and listen to hip hop? Yeah, well, you're going to be a hypocrite if you do. But and there it has Kanye West from his song "I Love It." You're such a fucking hoe. I love it. So yeah, let's see what it says. So I'm a feminist with a dirty secret. Publicly, I condemn sexism in all its forms, writing articles about Me Too and giving men who dare catcall long, vicious glares. But behind closed doors, and also in closed bars, restaurants, and tube carriages, I still listen to and accidentally enjoy misogynistic rap music. I'm a hip hop hypocrite, and I bet you are too. So at least she's been kind of honest. But let's be honest, all hip hop is misogynistic. Well, it definitely would be according to woke feminists. And yeah, it's just the way it is. I mean, so it continues. To be a woman who loves hip hop at times is to be in love with your abuser. And a lot of times women are in love with their abusers, like I was talking last night about, how women fall in love with like serial killers, violent, psychopathic, evil, really sadistic, really sick, men, women, serial killers that have abused and killed children. Not only killed, but like tortured, sexually tortured, like cut limb to limb. Women fall in love with these guys because they're attracted to that dark side. It's really sick, but anyway. Tweeted Avu DuVernay in 2015 amid a backlash against NWA biopic Straight Outta Compton, which concerned its revisionist approach to depicting the group's misconduct towards women. It's a damning verdict on whether or not it's acceptable to sing along to "A Bitch is a Bitch." Very true. Bitch is a bitch. No matter how much Ice Cube insists that there's a difference between a bitch and an upstanding lady, although I'd like to think that society collectively decided that song should no longer be played a long time ago. It's the more subtle misogyny that catches me out, particularly if it's wrapped on top of a distractingly catchy beat. I wince at the specifics of Notorious B.I.G.'s Nasty Girl, but will still cheer if I hear it's Diodato sample being fed in by a DJ on a night out. So obviously she's using the excuse that if there's a catchy beat, that's what makes her like it. No, she's it's not just that there's a catchy beat. It's just that these chicks, women are, in a way, it's why women are more prone to communism, basically, because women just basically want to be accepted by the crowd. They just want, so whichever way the wind blows, women will blow with it, will go with it. It's they're it's just that's why it's like whatever the media tells these women, whatever is popular, whatever's in Hollywood, whatever the most popular news stations tells them to believe, they'll jump on board with that. And the hip hop and rap is very popular, so these women, they'll go along with it. They'll jump on board. They'll become groupies. They'll become fans. Not only fans, but they genuinely fall in love with these celebrities. They're attracted to that fame and celebrity. It goes on. It's reasonable to assume that Kanye is not going to deliver a feminist masterpiece on his new album. That being said, Kanye West and Lil Pump's "I Love It" was condemned to the trash pile as soon as I heard Pump open with "You're such a fucking hoe." There's an argument that the inclusion of Adele Givens saying, "'Cause in the old days they couldn't say the shit they wanted to. They had to fake orgasms and shit. We can tell NS today, hey, I want to come, motherfucker." NS, okay. Yeah, so yeah, that song is funny. I actually like it. Yeah, I love it by Kanye West. As an intro and outro, subverts the outright degradation of women in their lyrics, magically transforming "I Love It" into a song about sexual liberation. To me, it reads as an insurance policy add-on, a crash mat for West and Pump to bounce back off as soon as someone tells them that actually it's not very 2018 to tell a woman that you like a quick fuck and that you're willing to buy her a boob job in exchange for a blow job. Well, with things like, we can see from sites like Seeking Arrangement, and with the popularization of sugar babies and sugar daddies, the women are more than willing to give guys blowjobs in exchange for money and items or whatever, in exchange for resources. The acknowledgement that sex should be enjoyable for everyone involved, indicated by Given's speech, might be a step forward, but expecting it in exchange for gifts and verbal abuse reveals that it's all for West and Pump's personal gratification. We all know about negging, where women will, it's like a pickup technique where guys will insult women, and I've seen it. It's not really my style, but I've seen guys do it successfully, and I've tried it before, and it has delivered some interesting results, but it's usually when I used to drink, but I don't right now, and I hadn't drank for a long time, so that's why it wasn't really my style. And but women will respond they'll be attracted to when they get negged, when they receive criticism in a flirtatious manner, when they, and they can be called sluts, and it can get fairly heavy, but I've seen it in real life where guys will be borderline, or not borderline, actually abusive, and they'll end up like hooking up from cold approach, from negging a chick. And it's high risk, high reward, and you need to. A lot of guys can only get away with it when they're drunk, because it involves such. You need to have that. You need to have the balls to do it. And there was a friend of mine used to do it all the time when he was drunk, and he got some amazing results. Honestly, I hated that style because it was kind of fake. Not that he was fake, but he really needed drink to do it. Like, he would never ever do that when he was sober. So that's why I wasn't very impressed with it. But it's like, and the reason chicks respond, they're sexually attracted to it, is because it just shows that the guy is almost, he's displaying that he's better than her in some way. And especially if the guy's good looking, or tall and handsome, and even more so, she'll feel smaller and little. And women, we're told by the mainstream media that women, they want to be empowered, they want to be, boss bitches, but it's really, in terms of sexual dynamics, it's really not the truth. We all know women are attracted to guys that are bigger than them, like bigger. They want to feel small, weak, protected by a big guy. So the reason these women are probably attracted to these rap lyrics is because it denigrates them, and they feel like, they feel small, they feel belittled, and plus, if it has a good beat, they want it, and it kind of sexually liberates them to behave very, explicitly, like hoes, like whores, like, twerking their ass on the dance floor, grinding, behaving like what the lyrics describe. And anyway, I'll continue on. It's a lot easier to judge men who are behaving badly right now. Just ask the ultimate beneficiary of the hazy laws of hindsight, Brett Kavanaugh. Yeah, we got some more woke stuff going on here. Kanye West's 9th studio album, Yandy, is due to be released on the 23rd of November. And if we take a quick sample of lyrics from his previous work, perhaps his most notorious, I feel like me and Taylor might still have sex. Why? I made that bitch famous. That's funny. It's reasonable to assume that he's not going to deliver a feminist masterpiece. Clamping down on the classics, the songs we've heard throughout our whole lives and were written before the fight for gender equality went mainstream, however, can be a lot harder to police. Yeah, it's just funny. It's like, yeah. But if Kanye West hadn't have had supported Trump, she probably wouldn't have even written this. He would have gotten a complete free pass. It continues. Take Snoop Dogg, for example. In 2015, he told Sky News that his attitude has changed towards women, but that he has no regrets over his previous lyrics because that how he was trained when he first started. He went on to say, I don't feel like you can be ashamed or mad about not knowing. If you don't know, you don't know. His admission that the way he spoke of women earlier in his career was wrong is refreshing, and indeed his work can be judged with the same scrutiny as 2018 Kanye West, who should definitely know. But does this give us a free pass to listen to Doggy Style guilt free? Snoop Dogg is full of shit. I mean, he went full Trump derangement syndrome, which was really annoying. But he's made some good music, but he's a woke tard for sure. He's kind of annoying, to be honest. If you ever listen to what he says, he's kind of annoying. I used to like Snoop Dogg. I thought he was cool, but lost a lot of respect from when he went full woke tired on Trump. You don't have to be the biggest Trump fan, but just the way, yeah, it is what it is. But I'm sure he's full of shit. He still has the same. He still has the same views about women. He's just trying to score brownie points. And she's because she's like she's licking up to him now just because he said that. Um, The society we live in was built on misogyny, and so to reject all of the products of this is to reject a great deal of our culture. Yeah, it's bullshit. Yeah. Technically, the answer is no. If we want to make real progress towards gender equality, then it would probably be beneficial to stop listening to music that hinders that process in any way. Even if Snoop Dogg knows his old lyrics were wrong, his modern listeners may not, and the sexist morals they continue to perpetuate stand in the way of the feminist fight. So we're moving towards a time where feminists will try and get old like hip hop tracks like banned, or they'll try and like get them totally deleted from the past. It's just such garbage. Um, but nobody's perfect, particularly in a world that's attempting to unravel hundreds of years of patriarchy. Oh my god. The society we live in was built on misogyny, and so to reject all of the products of this is to reject a great deal of our culture. Reconciling my enjoyment of sexist rap music with my feminism is tough. See, this is such like an example of female hypocrisy. Just female, like just you know, it's just right there. Some will probably say it's impossible, but the road to gender equality was never going to be a straight line, and the sooner we accept our individual moral flaws, the better. A holier than thou approach to anything never turns out well, so we may as well all lay out our sins against gender equality bare. Call me a fake feminist if you want, but call me a hoe in real life and you'll have hell to pay. Call you. What's she gonna do about it? What's she gonna do? She's gonna like square up and have a fucking, have a go. That won't work out well. And I heard Biden, appointed some health minister or something, some trans health minister, and he already signed something that I can't remember, some bill where trans athletes will be able to compete against females. Men, basically men will be able to compete against females, and that just reminded me, that's not going to work out well for women. That's not going to work out well at all. It's going to be bad. Women, there's, what was it? Fallon Fox I think is a trans MMA fighter, and she broke some female skull with a punch. That's only the beginning. Like that's it's gonna be brutal. Men, like, oh man, we're gonna see some real equality. It's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be good at all. But yeah, it's wild times. I don't know, wild times. We're gonna see. It's funny when people say, that, the people who are like, oh, it's like, oh, don't get too hyped up about, who's ever in politics. It's all the same. And I get the sentiment, but you're wrong. Like, you're wrong. No, it's actually, it's different this time. It's gonna be a whole new level of wokeness coming through. It does actually affect normal people. It really does. This wokeness is going to go through the roof with this administration in America. It's going to affect the whole world. Yeah, but yeah, it's funny though. It's funny to watch on. You got to kind of enjoy it. But yeah, let's have a look at the Kanye West lyrics for that song. Let me get it up. Get that up. So this is the song she was writing about. Kanye West, Little Pump, I love it. So it starts off, cause in the old days they couldn't say the shit they wanted to say. They had to fake orgasms and shit. We can tell niggas today, hey, I want to come, motherfucker. Yes. So yeah, it's like this is what she was saying. They were using as a to kind of save their ass. I don't know. So it goes, you're such a fucking hoe. I love it. I love it. You're such a fucking hoe. I love it. You're such a fucking hoe. I love it. Love it. Love it. I'm fuck a bitch. Tell her cousin. Your boyfriend is a dork, McLovin. I just pulled up in a ghost. Fuck that bitch up out in London. Then I fucked up on her cousin. That's a mad pimpin'. Or her sister. I don't know nothing. All my niggas getting ignorant. Like a lighter bitch, we ignorant. All this water on my neck. Look like I fell when I went fishing. So much diamonds on my bust down. Oh fuck. What's the time? Me and Smoke Perp sipping drank. Oh fuck. She takes lines. These lyrics are funny, but if this song was played in the club, chicks would go wild for it. Every little woke, little hipster, cool little white, all these Californian chicks, all these pro Biden, anti-Trumpers, they'd be all out on the dance floor. All these Me Too chicks, Women's March girls. They'd all be out shaking their ass. That's a fact. I've seen it. You're such a fucking hoe. I love it. You're such a fucking hoe. I love it. You're such a fucking hoe. When the first time they ask you if you want sparkling or still, why you try to act you was drinking sparkling water before you came out here. You're such a fucking hoe. I'm a sick fuck. I like a quick fuck. It continues. And, I don't know if that's sick. I mean, that's kind of normal, but I don't know what guy doesn't, what guy's going to turn down a quick fuck. And, the chick in the article was saying that this is misogynistic, that men saying that you like a quick fuck. No, that's just reality. I mean, any guys, that's just preference. I mean, every single guy, every single healthy male is down for a quick fuck given the opportunity. And I don't think that makes anyone particularly sick, even. But it's just a lyric. I'm a sick fuck. I like a quick fuck. I like my dick sucked. I'll buy you a sick truck. I'll buy you some new tits. I'll get you that nip tuck. By the way, I hate fake tits. I don't think they're good. I don't like it. It's just you can tell that they're fake. I've been with girls with fake tits. They don't feel good. I'm not into it. I would rather, I'm more of an ass man anyway. Of course, titties are fun, but absolutely, I like a nice titties. Who doesn't? But I'd rather like smaller titties than big fake, fake ones. You can just they don't feel good. Yes. So. How you start a family, the condom slipped up. I'm a sick fuck. I'm inappropriate. I like hearing stories. I like that whole shit. I want to hear more shit. I like that whole shit. Send me more shit, you trifling whole bitch. Oh man, these lyrics are funny. Yeah, they're funny. But this says a lot about Kanye. he actually likes Kanye obviously likes the whole shit, he's talking about, I like hearing stories. So I'm guessing he likes, he likes hearing about her naughty adventures. He wants to get off on that shit, you know. Some guys have some strange preferences, but I think most guys have some weird fantasies going on inside their heads if they were really honest about it. Just it's kind of all you got to do is go on a porn site and just look at the various categories and see how messed up humans are really. Um, you're such a fucking hoe. I love it. You're such a fucking hoe. I love it. Because in the old days they couldn't say the shit they wanted to say. Yeah, we've been through that. Yeah. So there you go. And like I said, if this song was in, if the clubs, I've been in clubs where this song has been played because here in Tokyo, there's been clubs have been open pretty much all year, and there was only one month, I think, in May where they had maybe a lockdown. Even some clubs were open then. So yeah, I'm telling you, I've seen it. All these woke hipster chicks out on the floor listening to all these rap lyrics, and not only that, they're fans. I've seen it. I've even seen it where girls that I've seen on Instagram where they'll be sharing all these kind of Me Too stuff, all this BLM stuff, and whenever a rapper, there's photos of them with with ASAP Rocky, and if any famous rapper comes to the club, or they're in VIP with them. So it's just endless amounts of hypocrisy, but it is what it is. Anyway, let me check the chat. Know Your Worth says they want to feel small. Yeah, they absolutely want to feel small. Yeah, they do. That's what chicks like. Chicks like guys with big muscles. We all know that chicks like guys that are taller than them. So that's just a harsh reality. It's like chicks, for all their bullshit, all their lies, all their like, oh, I just want a nice guy, guys. Personality is more important. No, you're full of shit. You might want that too, but the stuff you're not saying, is actually what you really want. They're just extras. They want to feel small, weak. They want to feel inferior. Let's be honest. Let's see. Winston says, "Bitches ain't shit, but hoes and tricks." That's a fact. Who said that? Was that Snoop Dogg? Yeah, that's it. Miguel is in the house. What up, bro? Winston said, "Whoa, my precious feminism." Yeah, these chicks will drop that shit. They'll drop that shit like in a heartbeat for a guy with money, muscles, and game. They'll drop it, and they'll pick it up again when they need it again. But it's just all about image. It's just all about image. It's a fashion. It's a fashion item. It's an accessory. All these movements, all this woke politics that these chicks get involved in. It's a fad. It's it's a fashion accessory. We can see it. With all these hashtags that pop up on social media every few months. It's BLM, it's Me Too, whatever it'll be next. There'll be another one soon. There'll be some big incident, there'll be another big movement. There'll be more. That stuff isn't going away, and you'll see every single chick will share it. In Western. So they just do as they're told, basically. They're obedient. These chicks are obedient to the media. it's unbelievable. Actually, it's scary to think how obedient they are. They obey. They obey. They tend. The funny thing is, they think they're being rebellious when they're doing exactly as they're told. Like you know, they're following massive billion-dollar corporations and hilariously thinking that they're being some kind of rebel, some kind of going against the system. Like such idiots. Oh my god. Someone has to call it out. Got to be me. It's got to be. Well, there's a lot of people that call it out, and they get banned, they get blocked, they get shadow banned, they get ostracized from society. Honestly, we are the real rebels. Like people like me, everyone else in the people like MLD, everyone in this chat, like anyone who's red pilled, we are the actual rebels. We're like the new punk. This is we are the ones that go against not not these feminists, not these beta males, not these. They're all going with the system. They're all none of them are rebels. All these actors, all these celebrities, none of these people are rebellious in any way. They're all cowards. They're all slimy little cowards, weaklings. There's also it's not that it's always disappointing when you see someone that you kind of like that that goes with the media, or gets like I was disappointed. I like the things I like about Conor McGregor and the things I really hate, but I guess it annoyed me when. I wouldn't say it annoyed me, but when he's been completely fooled by the whole beer bug thing, and he got very vocal about it. It was very annoying, to be honest. But some people, they'll just fall for it. Winston says she's going to punish you by giving you pussy. Yeah, so Winston says Kamala will be president the next 8 years. Yeah, I mean, Biden he's senile, very senile. He's not really fully there. I think I saw a clip where he's walking towards Secret Service and he has an earpiece in, and they're telling him what to do because he's senile man and he doesn't know what to do. So they said to him, salute the Secret Service, and he repeats that, salute the Secret Service, and he just walks in like a he's special needs. He's old folks home. Kamala Harris, can you believe that woman? Oh, it's going to be so ridiculously woke and stupid. Javier says everything that's against the female narrative is misogynistic. Exactly, everything that's against the female narrative is misogynistic. Females are, it's in their nature. It's always important to remind yourself that, it's important to understand female nature so you don't hate them. Because if you don't understand female nature, you will grow to hate women because But guys like us, once we understand that it is female nature, so it is what it is. So it's like there's no point in hating when it's cloudy or it's like hating the weather because it's the weather. It's not you can't change it. What's the point in getting worked up? But we just have to call these things out. We have to call it out when we see it. But it's these blue pill guys that end up shooting up a school or whatever because they just get so frustrated because they don't know, they don't understand what's going on. It's these incel guys who they're surrounded by blue pill and they don't really if they found the red pill, if they found they wouldn't have turned out, they wouldn't lose their minds because they'd understand, they'd have answers for what's really going on. But Winston says, "You better stop desiring sex, gentlemen. That's like xenophobic or something." Yes. Yeah. Spark55 says, "Girls just going with the trend. Girls just go with the trend. It's like, it's like I said, girls are more, that's why they're, basically female nature is more prone to communism. They're the commune, like they're interested in looking after they just want to build a community and, um, look after themselves basically. So, and it's a survival technique really, because if a man isn't around to raise the child, then the female will back in the day when humans were hunter gatherers, if there wasn't a community to protect the woman and child, the offspring, then the woman would die basically. So she needed the community in order to raise a child. Winston says the hoes and tricks is Dre. Oh yeah, thought so. I knew it was Snoop Dogg or Dre. Mars says, "Can you imagine when you are Putin or Z and you have to negotiate face to face with Harris? Oh man, it's gonna be like World War III. Like they're gonna walk all over her, and she's gonna get emotional, and it's gonna be bad news, man. I don't know. I do not know. She is a big chip off her shoulder. She's like too much to prove. She'll overcompensate for her weakness. It's dangerous. I really wish like there was no nuclear weapons, because it's I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but some countries in a way, I don't know, because it's just dangerous. I don't know. And those countries, they're not gonna put up with her shit. They're not gonna deal with it. They're not. They're just gonna, dude. Spark says, to be honest, if communism comes by, the US's power will fall over time. To be honest, I think the US's power is already falling a lot. I mean, I think China's the country that's really coming up. I mean, they're already bullying a lot. They're taking over Africa. China's heavily involved in Africa, and just the U.S. won't do shit to China. Oh, Ho says she won't stand a chance. Yeah, she won't stand a chance. I mean, the only thing is, the only reason these countries don't go to war is because of nukes. I mean, if these couldn't, I think if nukes weren't invented, I think China would probably go to war with America. And I think but I think a lot of countries would go to war with America. America's divided country, divide and conquer. Winston says, well, there's still the Senate and the Congress. They're not letting shit go left that easy. Well, we'll see. Javier says, Trump was the only person who could stop Kim Jong-un. Yeah, well, we'll see what will happen with little Kim. He's they're developing nukes. They're not going to be trifled with either. They got away with like shooting nukes over Japan. I used to get, if there's an earthquake in Japan, you get like you get a notification on your phone, like your phone usually you get it just as a maybe a minute before the earthquake hits, but when those test rockets were shot over Japan into Pacific, my phone was like went off. I just thought it was an earthquake when I was in the morning, and I just went back to sleep. I didn't even notice it was like a missile alert. It's crazy times. Um, what this says, but China is already catching up, or maybe already ahead. China is seriously like far. I think that China is probably ahead because China basically makes everything. All the manufacturing is done in China. That's insane amounts of money. And plus the population is like 1.6 billion or something. What is the actual population of China? It's like population of China. It's 1.398. So 1.4 billion population of China. That's insane. Even if they did they could just do it if China actually wanted to, win a war, they could just send in a load of ground troops, send in 10 million. That's nothing to them. Send in 10 million ground troops, just flood, flood America. They could easily defeat America if they had 10 million ground troops. They just roll in, you can't nuke 10 million. You know what I mean? Once they're spread out, they'd end up killing more of their own citizens. Think about that. That's nukes can't really stop in a way. I don't know. Well, Senate and Congress are pretty much under communist control. I agree with that. Spark 55. Winston says things are moving at such a fast pace. Spark 55 says U.S. will probably end up in a civil war. Yeah, I can see. Yeah, I don't know how. Yeah, I could easily see that happening too. I think a lot of people, talk about that. I mean, it's just so divided. There's so much hatred. There's so much deception. There's so many lies. People are getting there's a lot of hatred. I'm not even American, and I feel the rage sometimes. Just with all these Silicon Valley companies, just with their deception and their lies and their it's getting to be too much. But yeah, it's I'm gonna call it there. But as usual, like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for joining tonight's show. It's Friday night here, so I will catch you guys on Monday. As usual, check out the links in the description. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the show. I will catch you guys on Monday. Peace out. Have a good one.